Happy holidays! Let's make this child-sized Christmas hat together. I made this hat pretty much the same way that I made the adult-sized Neapolitan ice cream hat. But as you can see here, there's actually quite a size difference between the two. And I even used the 48 needle knitting machine on both. The reason for the difference in the sizes of the two hats is the yarn that I used. I used primarily big twist yarn for the ice cream hat, and as you can see, the big twist yarn is the one on the left-hand side. And can you see there? It is thicker than the mainstays yarn is the one on the right, and that is the one that I used that wound up being a child-sized hat. And in order for you to see that a little bit better, here is the big twist yarn on the left, that deeper, darker red. As you can see, that is quite a bit thicker than the mainstays red on the right. So the size yarn that you use can determine the size of the hat that you wind up with. So that's something to keep in mind as you are selecting yarns for the different projects that you make. Starting with the first needle, cast on using the red yarn and leave about a 4 to 6 inch tail. Secure your yarn underneath the first needle, then go behind the next needle, in front of the next, behind, in front. You get the point, and you're going to continue that way until you work your way back to the last needle, which is the white needle on mine. Then go through the tensioner, or through the feeder and the tensioner. Complete 22 rounds of the red and then cut your yarn, leaving a bit of a tail. And you're cutting that after the last needle. Then put your white yarn underneath the first needle, leaving a bit of a tail. Secure your yarn underneath that first needle and then go through the feeder and your tensioner. Hold the tail end just until it's secure, and then away you go for another 22 rounds. Complete 86 rounds with the green yarn, then leave about a foot long tail, cut your yarn, and now we're going to do a drawstring cast off. So put your yarn through your needle. You want to crank your machine ahead a few stitches, and then you're going to use your needle to go ahead and get those stitches off of the machine onto the drawstring. Take the yarn tail from either end of your work and begin to pull on it. Use it as a drawstring to pull the end of your work closed. Pull it as much as you can and kind of work the yarn into the center so that it looks nice and neat. And once you can't pull it anymore, then use a yarn needle to go ahead and close up the hole that's in the top of the work. And then you're going to go to the other end of your work, which is the red end, and just repeat by pulling on that yarn tail and closing up the end and then sewing it closed. Then take your green end and take the green end, and you're going to push that up into the red end, excuse me, up into the red end of your hat, and then you want to secure the top of your hat. You want to go through both the red and green and secure it so that it won't come loose later. And so that your child size hat is extra cute, get you a pom-pom if you want to. This one is nice and fluffy, and you're just going to use that yarn end that you were already using and sew it onto the top.